This episode is brought to you by Novilla Mattresses, where comfort meets innovation, giving you the perfect night's sleep you've been dreaming of. Are you tired of tossing and turning all night, struggling to find a comfortable position? Look no further than Novilla Mattresses, the ultimate sleep solution designed with your comfort in mind. Experience the luxury of a good night's sleep with Novilla's advanced mattress technology. Their mattresses are crafted using the finest materials, providing the perfect balance of support and softness. Whether you prefer a plush feel or a firmer surface, Novilla has a mattress that caters to your unique sleep preference. But what sets Novilla apart from the rest? It's their commitment to innovation and quality. Each mattress is thoughtfully engineered to provide optimal spinal alignment, reducing pressure points and ensuring you wake up feeling refreshed and rejuvenated every morning. Say goodbye to restless nights and hello to blissful sleep with Novilla's cutting-edge cooling technology. Their mattresses are designed to regulate temperature, keeping you cool and comfortable throughout the night. No more waking up in a sweat, just pure, uninterrupted sleep. Worried about allergens and dust mites? Don't be. Novilla mattresses are hypoallergenic and resistant to common allergens, ensuring a healthier sleep environment for you and your loved ones. And here's the best part. Novilla is committed to affordability. They believe that everyone deserves a great night's sleep without breaking the bank. That's why their mattresses are competitively priced, giving you the best value for your money. But don't just take our word for it. Join the thousands of satisfied customers who have already made the switch to Novilla. Even when your mom comes to my place, just know she's getting a great night's sleep, among other things. Experience the difference for yourself and discover what it truly means to sleep like you've never slept before. Using promo code Schweezy or the link in our description, you can save 10% off any purchase you make through Novilla directly. Ready to transform your sleep experience? Visit their website today and choose the Novilla mattress that suits your needs. Your journey to a better night's sleep starts now with Novilla mattresses. And a reminder, when you use our links, you directly support this show. When you want it the most, there's no easy way out. When you're ready to go and your heart's left in doubt, don't give up on your faith, but come to those who believe it, and that's the way it is. That's the way it is. Hello, my friend. We'll meet again. It's been a while. Where do we begin? That's a good question by a famous philosopher. Welcome to yet another episode of Cancel Schweezy, better known as the Lord's trademark favorite podcast. How's everyone doing today? How's everyone going? I need to check one thing on my monitors, but yeah, it's been a fun week. What have I been doing? A new band I'm playing with. I played my first show with them last night. That was fun. Looks like everything was good to begin with. So we played I played my first show with them last night. It was a lot of fun. It's a good group to play with, like blues rock, and it's very much an adult band where everyone acts like an adult and we do adult things, unlike other bands you play with who you're literally just playing with musicians, and as we know, they are not the best people in our worlds. They are who they are. So, but yeah, no, it was a fun show last night. I have more stories I wish I could tell, but it's not one of those kind of stories you can just say on the internet for everyone to hear. It's good to not overshare your entire life on the internet, because it makes it's nice to have your own personal life. I really realized that. I think last week we talked about how how kids, you could be bullied at school and then you go home and get online and you get bullied again. And it is really hard when you're a kid, because kids don't necessarily. Is it good social media hygiene? I want to say, I don't know, hygiene seems like a weird word, but just a good rule for social media is understanding. I think there's boundaries with social media, and so it is really good to do that. And kids don't necessarily know that. I mean, I was a kid at the beginning of Facebook, so I remember the pre-Facebook days. It was always MySpace was pretty popular and stuff like that. But like there were like other social media sites too. I remember MSN had one. It was kind of blog like, and I've been like trying to search for it because I remember like what email I did use. I don't know how to get into that email anymore. I might be able to figure it out, but and stuff like that. I remember the email I used, and I remember a lot of the user names I had. So I'm like, I can't remember MSN. It was MSN because it was through like Hotmail, and it was like you had like a blog thing, and you shared all your stuff on the blog, and it's kind of like MySpace. There was a weird time in between that. Like I remember MSN Messenger was a vibe where like some people only had Yahoo Messenger, and that's why Android phones exist nowadays, because people are dumb enough to sign up for like Yahoo Messenger. When MSN was the shit, your email address was Hotmail. Like how fucking cool was that? Now you look at someone with a Hotmail like my mom and another friend I have, and it's just like, wow, you're still going strong with the Hotmail. I can't even. I remember I helped my mom set up her Hotmail account because she wanted to. She's like, can you help me set? It was back in the. Can you help me make another email that's more for personal stuff? And I'm like, yeah, sure. And we went to Hotmail or whatever. Now I would have told her to go to Gmail, but I don't know. She's gone full throttle in on Hotmail. Do I have full throttle? Where is full throttle? I think full throttle is. Yeah.
Let's go full throttle.
There we go. We got it. And I finally use the soundboard. I have to make sure it works. I always have to like test it out early in the show to make sure that shit works. But besides that, no, band show was fun. A lot of good playing by me. Oh, no, I did play better than I thought I would do. It was just like you're learning. Like I'm learning songs I've never. A lot of them I haven't like ever really learned before. It's more like I've just heard in passing type of song, And so, yeah, it was like very much, yeah, I think I did okay. I know where I need to improve, the music student in me was like, I know where I need to improve on this show. Yeah, no, I'm still teaching the youth. I think I did a couple, like 3 days last week. And, yeah, it's what is it? Is it ongoing? I've been telling the kids, and apparently I could get in trouble for this, but, like I said, I watch my words. I just want to let you know, and stuff like that. And also,
man proposes and God disposes.
But I would like tell kids if they were on their phones, be like, hey, if I see you with your phone out, I'm gonna take your mom out on a date. And and a lot of kids put their phones away. Some kids wanted to challenge my knowledge, and there's like, but my mom's married. I'm like, and don't you think that's going to be a problem for your mom's marriage? The fact that she's going on a date with your substitute teacher? Don't you think that would be kind of a problem? Most of the time when kids get divorced, or not kids get divorced, when parents get divorced, it is 100% not the kid's fault. If anything, the kid helped them last longer than they actually should have. And so, you always tell kids like, hey, divorce was never your fault. Like, I would say, out of all, if 50% of marriages end in divorce, like, has to be less than 1% when it's actually the kid's fault. It has to be less than 1%, if I'm getting my math right, because that makes sense. But if your child is caught on their phone and you're the mother of the child and you now have to go on a date with me, and your husband doesn't like that, your husband doesn't enjoy that you're going on a date with me, that is 100% the child's fault. If that's going to end the marriage right there because, your husband doesn't like it that you have to go on a date with me because your child was caught with their phone in school, it is the kid's fault. At that point, it is the kid's fault that the parents get divorced. It's not my fault. Everyone's like, why don't you take blame for it? I'm like, well, I told him. I gave him a warning. It's kind of like in Texas how, like, if you just walk on someone's property, you can just die. It's like, I like that rule, but, like, I also think, like, hey, you should give a warning first. Like, I think one warning is perfect for that, okay? One warning is like a perfect thing for that. But no, teaching has been fun. I just goof around all day, to be honest with you. I I think you should leave. He's like, I didn't do fucking shit. That's me. Well, no, that's what, they're not the music class. I do try to make the music kids do shit. So that's fun. But yeah, I'm adjusting to like teacher time and musician time. Very opposite, times where it's like teachers wake up early in the morning and go to bed late, where musicians, they're working, late in the evenings because, that's when concerts happen, that you're kind of a 50% nocturnal person in a sense. So it's very different worlds, but I'm making it work. All the kids are telling me I don't think I look like, but I remind them of the koala from Sing. And I still haven't seen the movie. I need to like actually sit down and watch it tonight. And I got to see, it's really bad. It really says something when someone insults you. I don't know if this is an insult. They're just like poking fun and to be fair, I've been poking fun at like every kid, like every single kid I was poking fun at. So, you expect them to come back. Imagine me picking on kids all day, and the one time they're mean to me, I'm just like, oh, when did this happen to the office right now? It's really great when you get insulted and then you have to research the insult that was given to you.
That's rough, buddy.
But that's been interesting. I also found out this week, Scott Raynor, who was the original drummer for Blink-182, before Travis Barker made them a good band, he is now a cop. And usually someone being like, oh, he decided to go into a career, like a musician. Like, they used to be in a band, now they're not. But, like, if you're a punk rock guy, you're like a punk kid, the opposite of what you do is grow up to be a cop, And especially right now when really all cops are just fucking bastards, Like, they're all just bastards and shit like that. And, and especially someone who grew up in, like, the skate punk scene, like, the opposite of what you do is become a cop. You literally, to quote Sum 41, you became a casualty of society. And that is pretty fucking stupid of you, Scott Raynor. So, Scott, I used to, respect you for, being a good drummer before Travis could come in. But now I don't respect you anymore, Scott Raynor. Even though we've never met, and I actually don't even listen to the albums that you were on of Blink-182. I don't know. It's just like, damn, it was good, but then it didn't really get good until like Travis got in. Like Enema was Travis's first one, yeah. So yeah, and we're gonna talk more Blink-182 in this episode. They just released this new album, and in case you're listening instead of watching the podcast, our background is Blink-182 themed. This is a Blink-182 themed episode of Cancel Schweezy, and I think we're titling it one more time. That's called Pre-Production for a Podcast, folks. Pre-production for a podcast. But yeah, no, I have music out wherever. That was a horrible transition. So yeah, if you want to listen to my music, I'm out wherever you stream music at. It's under Schweezy. Kind of like Cancel Schweezy, you just take out the cancel part. And my socials are all under at TheSchweezy. So TikTok, we post clips from the show. I've been posting on the YouTube Shorts as well. So that's really cool as well, all under Schweezy. We do have a PayPal and we do have a Cash App account, which you can help financially support the show. If you're if you're a good noodle, if you don't want to lose one of your good noodle stars, then that would be the best option for you, to be honest with you. Do something like that. But if you want to know all the free shit you can do, here's some free shit you can do. And I want to tell you, subscribing to the show, liking our episodes, leaving comments, especially on our YouTube page, either on the full episodes or the highlights, best way you can freely support our show and everything we do. And if you're on an audio platform, leave us a review and give us a 5, 4, 3, 2, or 1 star rating, okay? And I just want to
feel like a woman, a real woman.
Damn, I
feel like a woman, a real woman.
Dun 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 dun. Now, let's go, girls. That is when you're sad and you're just here. Let's go, girls, and you're just like cowboy hats on. What an event we can live in. Anyways, though, let's jump into previous week right now. The news from last week, which we'll be discussing in the current present. So, as our buddy Philip Franco would say,
let's just jump into it.
All right, this first article we got from Variety, one of my favorite people, and by favorite people, I mean people who are so fucking weird they interest me. Gwyneth Paltrow rejects Nepo Baby term because there's nothing wrong with doing what your parents do. It's an ugly moniker. Gwyneth Paltrow briefly entered the Nepo Baby discourse in January when she commented on Instagram post of Hailey Bieber's wearing a shirt with the moniker on it and wrote, "I might need a few of these." Now Paltrow, the daughter of actor Blythe Danner and director-producer Bruce Paltrow, and who is an Oscar winner in her own right, entered the discourse more forcefully by telling Bustle the term Nepo Baby is an ugly moniker. Now there's this whole Nepo Baby culture and judgment that exists around kids of famous people. Paltrow said when her 19-year-old daughter Apple got brought up, she's really just a student and she just wants to be a kid and be at school and learn. But there's nothing wrong with doing or wanting to do what your parents do. Nobody rips on a kid who's like, I want to be a doctor like my dad and granddad, Paltrow continued. The truth is, if you grow up in a house with a lot of artists and people making art and music, that's what you know. The same way, if you grow up in a house of law, the discussion around the table are about the nuances of whatever particular law the parents practice. I think it's kind of an ugly moniker, she continued about Nepo Baby term. I just hope that my children always feel free to pursue exactly what they want to do, irrespective of what anybody's going to think or say. The term, short of for nepotism baby, went viral in late 2022 due to a New York magazine cover story on the topic. It prompted many actors who are the children of actors to speak out on the matter. Kate Hudson, the daughter of actor Goldie Hawn, and Bill Hudson shrugged off the term in an interview with The Independent. The nepotism thing, I mean, I don't really care, Hudson said. I look at my kids and we're a storytelling family. It's definitely in our blood. People can call it whatever they want, but it's not going to change it. I actually think there are other industries where it's more common, Hudson continued. Maybe modeling. I see it in business way more than I see it in Hollywood. Sometimes I've been in business meetings where I'm like, wait, whose child is this? Like, the person knows nothing. I don't care where you come from or what your relationship to the business is. If you work hard and you kill it, it doesn't matter. Jamie Lee Curtis, the daughter of actor Tony Curtis, and Janet Leigh posted on Instagram around the same time that the Nepo Baby Discord is designed to hurt. I have been a professional actor since I was 19 years old, so that makes me an OG Nepo Baby, Curtis wrote. I've never understood, nor will I, what qualities got me hired that day, but since my first 2 lines on Quincy as a contract player at Universal Studios to this last spectacular creative year, some 44 years later, there's not a day in my professional life that goes by without my being reminded that I am the daughter of a movie star. The current conversation about Nepo Babies is just designed to try to diminish and denigrate and hurt. When asked about the term for a recent Variety cover story, Ethan Hawke, the father of actor Maya Hawke, quipped, put simply, I'm a Nepo dad, and I'm not embarrassed about that. So I guess we have to talk about Nepo Babies. Now, I don't even really necessarily want to talk about Gwyneth Paltrow. I'm like, she's weird, but I also feel like she's a good hang, you know? I feel like she's a fun hang. Like, you hang out with her, it's like, so yeah, my company Goop, we have this thing where it's like slugs, they suck the cum out of your balls or something like that. You're like, okay, well, I'm not necessarily interested in trying it, but I'm more interested in hearing about what you're doing. It's kind of, you think it's stupid, but like you're also like friends with this person, so you're kind of like, well, let me just pique my interest. But yeah, one reason I really think, and I think this topic is really coming up, and I've been kind of interested in this topic, I think it's just more of my like jaded self, My parents are, my dad was a track and cross country coach at a D2 school, specifically a D2 school that focuses a lot more on academics than like how good are you at sports and stuff like that. And not saying like they're bad athletes or anything, It's just probably they're going to go into, if like a lot of them are maybe going into coaching, and so that's a good thing. But a lot of other people are probably not. They're just doing it, for some scholarship money and stuff like that. And so I, as someone who is a musician, I think about it a lot, and like, And I've been thinking about how like popular and how Taylor Swift has gotten so mega in these past couple of years, like since Reputation, how everyone just like, fuck that bitch, I hate her, to like, oh my gosh, if she farts, I'm gonna lose my mind. This is so amazing, and shit like that. So, and you don't know that Taylor has rich parents, even though she pretends to come from like small farm town origins and stuff like that. She has a rich dad. And the thing is, she's not a Nepo baby, but she can technically be considered an industry plant, which I think that's kind of like the popular slang for like a Nepo baby. It's just like, oh, someone created this in like almost like it feels like it was created in like a lab, and
This is America, you dumb son of a bitch, okay?
and so it's just like it kind of just ruins the whole idea where it's like people are self-made in the world, and it's just kind of like a reality shatter broken, and it's making me kind of jaded thinking about how we're at a point where it's like, no one's really self-made anymore, and I'm just like, as me struggling with my career, like the self-made people do exist, and I'm trying to and I'm really trying to focus like what art I consume. A lot of it, you can't get away from it all the time, but I try, at least especially with like the music I listen to, I'm trying more to not listen to Nepo babies or industry plans, and really trying to focus on actual self-made artists, because they're the ones who really deserve your attention, not like some rich kids like getting, like, I don't want to be a singer, and so now they're singers and stuff like that. And so, yeah, so I don't think there's anything wrong, and I think what Gwyneth Paltrow is trying to say here is like, just because I went into the same career field as my parents shouldn't be a bad thing. And no, that is definitely not a bad thing at all. Like, I don't know, people, you live in a house where you have two adults interested in one thing, and then you're around it all the time, you kind of, you just spark an interest for it. That's just,
This is the type of guy you get.
and that's not a big deal. The problem is, like, sometimes you have like parents who play gigs and stuff like that, but they may work like a day job too, but they're also pretty good musicians and have a cool stuff like that. So you think about that, like, yeah, I'm interested in music because my dad was interested in music, but your dad's not necessarily a celebrity. But things with like this is like they're getting their career because of their parents. That's the real problem. Like, I think, did Nicolas Cage, he went with Cage because I think his real last name is like Coppola or something like that, and that's a big famous acting family, for those of you who don't know. And I think a lot of artists, like, they will change their last names just so you don't know, like, oh, they're related to each other. I think Feinstein, Jonah Hill's sister, it's not Queenie Feinstein. Why do I think her name's like Queenie or something like that? Like she didn't try to build her career off of that. I remember I saw Hank Williams Jr.'s daughter at the Grand Ole Opry, and they're like, this is her first show ever, and it was terrible, because your first show should not be at the Grand Ole Opry. Your first show should be in the shittiest place possible, with no one there. Like, that's what your first gig should be. If your first gig is the Grand Ole Opry, like, you are 100% just a Nepo baby, and like, you need to check your privilege at the door. I think it's just more or less just like rich kid privilege is what it comes down to. And like, there's some people who are working, and I have like just some friends working so hard in the music career, and they're making some of like the most badass music I've ever heard in my life. And then just like some kid with rich kids' parents are like, they just get successful just because their parents have money. It's just an unfair. I just think at the end of the day, with this Nepo baby discourse, what we all want is just an even playing field for everyone. I think at the end of the day, that gets political, and I guess that's why I have socialist leanings, is that I think everyone should have like be at the same starting line when it comes to anything in life. Like, I just feel like, like, my parents helped me go to college and stuff like that, but not everyone's parents are able to figure that out for them, and so I think everyone, should at least just have the same starting point. And it's just like what you do in your life and how you decide to be disciplined and how you decide to have a work ethic should determine that stuff. It shouldn't be determined by your rich parents. So I could go on. We could do a whole ass hour and a half. We're almost like a 2-hour podcast these days on this, but And nevertheless, he persisted, and nevertheless, I will continue. Okay, so next article is from Odyssey. Here we go, article of the week. Blink-182's Mark Hoppus had to relearn how to sing and play after chemo for a new album. During a recent chat with Zane Lowe, Blink-182's filled us in on all that led up to the surprising reunion, which no one found more shocking than lead singer Mark Hoppus himself. Feeling lucky to back on stage at all after being diagnosed with diffuse large B-cell lymphoma back in 2021, it was actually for the other reason Hoppus was certain he never shared the stage with his both Blink-182 bandmates again. You know, the band's highly publicized fallout, that is, until Hoppus' diagnosis shifted everything. While he and the drummer Travis Barker always stayed in touch during the band's time apart, his relationship with Tom DeLonge was quite the opposite. However, when cancer entered the picture, everything changed with their friendship, but also in many other ways. By September of the same year, Hoppus was cancer-free, but it took a while to get back to normal. I was still fucking hollow, just a shell. He shared, I had a shitty weak brain eaten with the chemotherapy and pain and everything else, and then getting back in the studio to make this record was like learning how to play bass again. Mark revealed to Zane Lowe how chemotherapy forced him to relearn how to be a musician again. The chemotherapy wrecked my vocal cords. I had to go to work with a vocal coach. I had to rebuild my throat. I had all this stuff, had to rebuild to get to the point where we could go on and walk on stage at Coachella and have one of the biggest shows of our career and have this album, which, touch wood, is one of the best albums we've ever written. DeLonge added in how Blink-182 and had Hoppus back, drawing parallels from the diagnosis to the fatal plane crash that nearly killed Barker back in 2008. I remember sitting with Mark at his house, and it was just very, very much like, you're sick, DeLonge said. We're going to get you through this, and we're going to make the best music we've ever made. Let's do it. Let's have a North Star. I wanted him to have a North Star. And that's exactly what they did. It feels like the best time in the band in forever, Mark gushed. So yeah, it's that time of the episode where I get to discuss Blink-182's new album, which came out last Friday. So even by the time this episode comes out, it hasn't even been a week old. And I gotta say, it's fucking the best. It's so fucking good. Is it their best album they've ever made? That is up to you, but I think it is. I can't imagine, like, I don't know. It's okay to have a favorite album a band's made, but it's hard to say, especially a band like Blink-182, like to say this is their best album, because it's just like, is it better than Enema of the State? And you're like, some parts yes, some parts no. And like, is Enema better? Some parts yes, some part no. Take Off Your Pants and Jacket, is it better than that? Yes, sometimes no. And then, you listen to Neighborhoods, that has its own different vibe to it. The Untitled record has its own different vibe to it. So it's hard for me to want to rank it by like what I think is actually their best album, because I think what can be considered their best album is subjective. But I think we can determine, is this a good album or is it a bad album? It's a good album. It's just like Enema of the State, good album. Take Off Your Pants and Jacket, good album. And really, if you look back, like, they've never really released a bad album. Even 9 in California. I like California a little bit more than 9, because 9 was just way more poppy and just really was a real big departure. It just didn't feel like Blink-182 on 9, but fuck it. But also, Matt Skiba is the fucking best. I think Matt Skiba liked something on the Cancel Schweezy page, and I think it was it looked like his actual page. So thank you, Matt Skiba. I'm happy you like to post from like forever ago that I posted on. But like, no, dude, you're the fucking best. I'm so excited for the new Alkaline Trio record and stuff like that. So yeah, and this article makes it like, was Matt Skiba and Blink-182, or was it like Mark and Travis, making a Blink-182 record without Tom, and they needed a guy to do stuff with, similar to that. But yeah, no, the album, totally phenomenal. I really do think I think yesterday itself, I just listened to Anthem Part 3 on repeat. That one, like, you can't go that heavy on lyrics with your first song, okay? Like, and like, just like, and what makes this album, I think, good, because when bands get to their age, like Blink-182, they almost get to a point where they're like, I don't think they have anything else to really sing about, you know? Like, I feel like it's okay to admit, like, I think I'm done writing songs. I don't think I have anything else, like, you know, good to say, or like, you know,
You bet I'm coming up in May.
like, you know, you're just like, I think I'm done with everything I have to say in songs, and I think I'm just gonna move on with life. And you do what Billy Joel does and just performs the hits, stuff like that, or kind of what Garth does. I don't know if Garth really, how much into like songwriting he actually is, but like he plays a lot of just like hits, and like he'll hit up covers, which is really cool too. So yeah, so I don't know, with this album though, it had that whole aspect of like Tom leaving and rejoining the band. You had that. You also had Mark's cancer diagnosis, which is really interesting because you're just thinking like, oh, there's songs about cancer, but with what Mark is doing, he wrote like he wrote about his feelings at the time, where it's like it wasn't necessarily the cancer, where the cancer was a problem. I mean, obviously that would definitely be a problem, but at the same time, he thought like, oh, people find out I have cancer, they're just gonna be like, fuck you, you deserve this, yada yada yada, stuff like that. And like when you know, and no matter how much, like, because I remember when it was announced, I was in the airport and I was just like, this is a bummer. And it was just all love and support. I didn't see anyone, and I don't even know people who are just like, fuck Mark Hoppus, you know? It's not a guy you like. The only thing that seemed like, fuck Mark Hoppus, Tom DeLonge is way better in the band. I'm like, they're both similar guys or whatever. So stuff like that. So yeah, and it's just really, and I don't know, like it really makes you think about like, oh, like I might be dying, you know? And, you know, as a songwriter, I think about that, like, I might be dying. Like, what else do I have to say, you know? How do I feel right now about this, you know? Always some interesting stuff. So, like, they had solid, like, lyrical ideas and ideas they wanted to put into songs, stuff like that. So, like, regarding, like, most bands their age, they're just writing, I don't even know what they're writing. They're just writing, like I'm going to write about being in love with a girl who broke my heart, even though I've been happily married for over a decade and just my life is in a good spot. Writing about being sad, I'm like, you can tell this is fake, but like this album doesn't feel fake. This feels like real. I mean, lyrically, I just think it's just phenomenal. It's just a phenomenal lyrical album. Is it overproduced? Yeah, it is feeling like MGK, but like it's Travis Barker producing it. So, drums are very processed, which is very weird how, if you listen to Taking Back Sunday's Ladder now versus this record, like how much drums have changed in that time. Very interesting. But overall, 10 out of 10. Mark learning how to sing, yeah, you kind of had to do that. People, if you think like it's easy to sing, like you don't understand how much, what like really goes on in your body when you have to sing. And so, yeah, having to relearn that and stuff like that, you're like, all right, I'm gonna try to hit this note, and then you're like, okay, gotta figure out how to do that again, stuff like that. And I'm sorry, my nose is so itchy for those watching, but yeah, overall, I think at the end of the year we do my favorite albums of the year. Spoiler alert: this one is gonna be on that album. So,
What?
All right. Last article we got here is from IGN. Fourth graders distraught after Winnie the Pooh Blood and Honey somehow gets shown in classroom. There's horror and then there's trauma, and that's what a group of fourth graders recently got themselves into with the 2023 slasher film Winnie the Pooh Blood and Honey. According to a parent who spoke with CBS Miami, of course this is fucking Florida, their child and classmates were exposed to approximately a half hour of Winnie the Pooh semi-parody horror film that dropped this year that reimagines the beloved children's characters as a serial killer who dons a Pooh mask while stalking his prey. The film already has a sequel in the works, so despite its silliness, it was somewhat of a hit in the horror sphere, but naturally not with a classroom of fourth graders. According to the parents' account, the child selected the film, but they seem to regret the decision as the film played out. The teacher didn't stop the movie, even though there were kids saying, hey, stop the movie, we don't want to watch this, the parent explained. It's not for them to decide what they want to watch, it's up to the professor to look at the content. The school issued a statement following the incident. The Academy for Innovative Education has become aware of a segment of a horror movie that was shown to fourth graders Monday, October 2nd, 2023, and was not suitable for the age group. The statement said, our administration promptly addressed the issue directly with the teacher and has taken appropriate action to ensure the safety and well-being of students. We are actively monitoring the students, and our mental health counselor and principal have already met with those students who have expressed concerns. In the meantime, the team behind Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey are working on a sequel featuring Tigger, and there are several other nightmare versions of classic kid properties in the works elsewhere. Teachers will probably want to pre-screen anything with blood in the title. Just saying. Okay. They didn't explain what the fuck happened. So a kid picked this out movie. So like a kid being like, oh, Winnie the Pooh, click it and watch it too. I get that, but then like I don't know because I've been substitute teaching for literally less than time itself, and I would notice. I think I would notice if like unless that teacher was like. The teacher had to be preoccupied with something for her not to notice a fucking bloodbath on her screen. I don't know. I haven't seen the movie. And then, like, the thing that's the question here is the kids being like, can we not watch this? Can we turn this off? And the teacher's like, fuck no. I'm trying to fucking get over this hangover or some shit. Yeah, so I don't know what the fuck's going on with this teacher. And how, because it's the teacher's fault. I don't know the situation. If I see a horror film, I don't know. Like, I mainly do older kids, but like if I see a horror film, I'm like, all right, I don't know if all right, guys, I'm going to get in trouble if I show you guys this in school. Like, that's usually how I work. I'm like, I'm going to get in trouble. So we're not watching this, and I'll just put on something else. Just like, there are problems with this story that need to be resolved. So, whoever this teacher is, I doubt you'll ever see. I doubt you watch this show. If I'm substitute teaching, I doubt any teacher watches this show. But if you are, please contact me. I would love to talk to you. I just want to set the record straight. Just like, because there's a good chance you could be like, I was preoccupied with something else, and it happens. Okay, it happens. So.
This is the type of guy you get.
FNX Fitness, the ultimate destination for fitness enthusiasts looking to reach their peak performance and achieve their health goals. Are you tired of the same old fitness routines that leave you feeling uninspired and unmotivated? Look no further than FNX Fitness, where they bring a fresh and innovative approach to your fitness journey. At FNX Fitness, they believe that true fitness goes beyond just physical strength. It's about nourishing your body and mind and soul to unlock your full potential. That's why they offer a wide range of high-quality supplements and products designed to support your active lifestyle. Fuel your workouts and enhance your recovery with the scientifically formulated supplements. From pre-workout energizers to post-workout recovery blends, FNX Fitness has you covered every step of the way. Their products are carefully crafted using premium ingredients, ensuring you get the nutrients you need to perform at your best. But FNX Fitness is more than just supplements. It's a community of like-minded individuals who share your passion for fitness and well-being. Join their supportive community and gain access to expert advice, workout tips, and motivational content that will keep you inspired and on track towards your goals. They understand that fitness is a personal journey, which is why they offer a wide range of products to cater to your individual needs. Whether you're a seasoned athlete looking to take your performance to the next level or a beginner taking your first steps towards a healthier lifestyle, FNX Fitness has the tools and resources to support you every step of the way. But don't just take my word for it. Join the thousands of satisfied customers who have already experienced the FNX Fitness difference. Transform your fitness routine and unlock your full potential with FNX Fitness. And using our code in the description, you can save 15% off your order from their website. Ready to take your fitness to the next level? Visit their website on your nearest retailer today and discover the power of FNX Fitness. Elevate your performance, fuel your passion, and become the best version of yourself with FNX Fitness. And a reminder, when you use our links, you directly support this show. Cash App, the easiest way to send, spend, and save money with just a few taps on your phone. Are you tired of dealing with the hassle of carrying cash or waiting in long lines at the bank? With Cash App, you can say goodbye to those inconveniences and hello to a seamless financial experience. Sending money to friends and family has never been easier, whether you're splitting the bill at dinner, paying your share of rent, or simply sending a birthday gift. Cash App lets you transfer money instantly, directly from your bank account. No need to worry about writing checks or handling physical cash anymore. But Cash App doesn't stop there. It's complete financial ecosystem right at your fingertips. Use the app to easily pay for your morning coffee, groceries, or even your monthly subscriptions. With just a simple scan or tap, you can make purchases at millions of locations, both online and offline. And here's the best part. Cash App helps you save money too. With its innovative Boost feature, you can unlock exclusive discounts and cashback rewards at popular retailers, restaurants, and even your favorite services. It's like having your own personal saving assistant, always looking out for the best deals. Worried about security? Cash App has you covered. With top-notch encryption and advanced security features, your financial information is always protected. Plus, if you have ever had any questions or concerns, Cash App's dedicated customer support team is available 24/7 to assist you. So why wait? Join millions of satisfied users and experience the convenience, speed, and savings that Cash App brings to your financial life. Download the app today from your app store and start spending and saving money like never before. Luckily, the best part is, if you sign up using the link in the description, you get a free $5 just for signing up. That's literally just free money. So join Cash App today. The future of money is here. And when you use our links, you directly support this show. All right, so someone in particular is feeling his age again.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
So it's time to look at whatever the fuck BuzzFeed's up to and their little nostalgia trip they always put me on. So
let's just jump into it.
If you're between 32 and 45, you'll immediately realize that these 37 photos have been living rent-free deep in your mind for the last 2 decades. Now, I'm only 30, but I feel like I grew up as if I was born in 1991, 1990, or 1989. So I watched this stuff probably and saw some of these stuff way earlier than I probably needed to. But besides that, yeah, let's take a look here. Number 1, VHS, I love the 80s, 90s, and 70s, which you learn so much stuff about pop culture and even history from. That, I need to rewatch that. That fucking, or I need to find it somewhere. Is it on something? Okay, I was like, did my camera go weird? Okay, no, but like, yeah, dude. Like, especially I love the 90s because, like, this show came on in the 2000s, and you're like, and when I was in the 90s, like, I think when 2000 struck, I was 6 years old, and then by August of 2000, I was 7. I believe that's right. So, yeah, no, like, this was so cool because, like, you know, I don't know, when I was, like, a kid, I always just, like, wanted to be an adult. But now that I'm adult, I do a lot of things I should have done as a kid. I don't know, that's something I need to bring up in therapy, but like that show, like I love the 80s, 90s, and 70s, you know, and stuff like that. One of the just fucking goats of like TV from the 2000s was like that show, because like you learned so fucking much. I think I learned about the chick who cut off the dude's dick in 1993, the year I was born. That dick reincarnated into my dick and stuff like that. Cool show, cool fucking show. And VH1's The Fabulous Life of, which you learned all about luxury brands from. Oh yeah, I feel like, yeah, luxury brands used to be so much more in like the 2000s. Now I'm just like, I don't really give a shit if it's like a Louis Vuitton bag, you know, for me, or like bags I want or gear I guess I get very much more name brand on like tech and stuff like that. But at the same time, like if it works well, it's not, you know, it's not too bad. But overall though, yeah, that show is just like just like, here, let me flex every fucking item I have for you. And yeah, so stuff like that. The home login screen for a Windows XP on your family's computer. Yeah, I think somehow we did have profiles. I don't know. My family is dum-dums when it comes to tech, and so they thought having different profiles was putting viruses on the computer, when in reality it was my fucking dumbass brother who was fucking putting that shit on and then blaming me for it.
I'm not gay no more.
I am delivered.
and stuff like that. So we only had to have like one profile. And like I remember they're like, "Oh, there's a virus on the computer again. Thanks a lot, Sam." Like I didn't do fucking shit. I need to add that sound drop. I didn't do fucking shit.
This is America, you dumb son of a bitch, okay?
And then we get older and I realized like, oh, I've had a laptop for 10 years and my brother breaks them all the fucking time. Dude, that's trauma right there. But yeah, dude, like the profiles and stuff like that, and yeah, it really was a problem in my family because no one used. And if the computer wasn't working, someone would just fucking wipe the hard drive and do it again. Like, you're going to like the stupidest fucking going to some dude's apartment and just having him wipe a hard drive. And you're like, okay, I'm gonna pay you a ton of money. Number 4, the singing mutant Quiznos hamsters that were just horrifying. There's a reason Quiznos, you don't see them anymore. There's a reason you don't see a lot of them. And I think the hamster had something to do with it. Someone thought, they think like, we're going to go fucking viral with this one. And then all of a sudden, like you see that fucking thing and you're just like, nope, never going to Quiznos ever again. I don't know what the fuck that thing is, but I don't want their sandwiches, you know? Yeah, dude. Oh, and then the Fantanas. I didn't know they had a name. The Fantanas, and they're catchy. Wanna Fanta? Don't you wanna Fanta? And then the famous Family Guy one. Wanna Sanka? Don't you wanna? And I think Sanka is like for old people to help them poop, I guess. How do you get to an age where you're just like, my body's like, I guess I don't poop anymore? Like, I feel like I'm just dropping giant-ass logs every fucking day of my life. And stuff like that.
I identify as a fucking threat.
Anyways, the Fanta, yeah, that's long. That's the sign of a good advertisement. It's like if it's a jingle, or at least in jingle world, is if you just have that fucking dumbass fucking jingle stuck in your head. Like that's how you know you fucking nailed it. The skill of taking selfies with flip phones. Oh my gosh, it's like when kids talk about selfies, and he's like, "Don't recite the dark magic to me." I was there when it was written. I was there when people would do that. That's why, I don't know, it's just easier. That's why there's so many fucking mirror selfies for the most part. And it's weird how the mirror selfies evolved to a point where it's like fucking dumb bitches who call themselves influencers are like holding their phone, pretending to take a picture in a mirror, when in reality it's actually just another camera for some reason. I don't know. Like, at what point are we going to make God cry, you know? Not the way I want my mom to see it, but the way that just, like, humanity has just given up and shit like that. But, yeah, no. Selfies before, like, front-facing cameras was a trip, people. It was a trip. TVs that came with built-in DVD and VHS players, which were such a flex if you owned one. Yeah, I remember, I guess smart TVs are that today, but, like, every TV you buy is a smart TV for the most part. So, you know, it is weird. Like, I always tell people, don't buy a TV just because it's a smart TV. Like, you can buy the Roku separately and you'll probably have a better experience. The TV my mom has, I think it's a Roku TV, and I'm like, well, Roku's good, so I guess it'll work out. And I was telling them when they were buying a TV, I'm like, don't buy it just because it has the smart TV feature, okay? Like, get a Fire Stick or like Roku's are so fucking cheap for like the 4K one. They do. I had one that overheated all the fucking time, so there's a problem there. But like, yeah, for the most part, yeah, like especially when the DVD player was built in. Like, I've had TVs with the VCR in it, and those were fucking badass. And there was like a way you could like record a DVD to a VHS and give to your friends. With a TV, I don't know, they just made it super simple with that too. So I think I gave a friend like a VHS copy of Shrek 2. You know, because I think we got because when we got a PS2, that's when, you know, most families got a PS2 back in the day. And that's when they like first started getting into DVDs. And like, that's really how DVDs became popular. It was because like, or that's how both how they became popular and like how people started, because DVD players used to be like super expensive. And so when the PlayStation 2 came out and it's like, oh, you can play DVDs on this thing, parents were like, I guess we'll buy our kid a PS2 and we can just use it as a DVD player too. Thus, that's how DVDs, and that's why DVDs are probably still around today, because, you know, they made DVD players so cheap now. And it's like, get a Blu-ray or just stream. I don't know. I feel like because I have an Apple TV, so I feel like when I just stream that shit, you know, it's the highest quality I can possibly get, because I think I have like, I got a good Apple TV, so it's like gonna look as good as it gets and whatever. So that's enough rambling on that. Oh, here we go. This is my share right here. The iHome stereo with the remote, which was also such a flex if you owned one, dude. I don't think I ever had like an iPod speaker, but I did figure out like you could just buy computer speakers, and they had that aux cable with it. And so if you really needed to, you could. I was always jolly rigging shit to play my iPod. Like I think that's probably why I got into recording music, is because I first started off just like jolly rigging like MP3 players to record stuff, or like iPods to like onto speakers, because like you think like, oh, the iPod can only be connected through headphones, and then you figure out you can connect them to speakers. Like, holy shit! And then like that, I was one of the pioneers on that, folks. And the iPod sock that literally did nothing to protect your iPod if you accidentally dropped it. To quote the great Dank Pods on YouTube, egg bags. Those are egg bags. They're not for iPods. They're for eggs. Oh god damn it, dude. Purple and green ketchup that you swore tasted different than regular ketchup. It didn't. I was aware of that. I was aware that they did not taste different from colors. I thought they were green. It was just the 2000, 9/11 just happened. You're like, you know what the world needs right now? Green ketchup. And I think Shrek didn't help that at all. That really helped our obsession with Shrek too, the green fucking ketchup, dude. Honestly, though, like, if they made that shit today, I don't know if I'd buy it, It's like, I don't know, ketchup is such a fucking weird topic with people, You're like, ketchup is fucking trash, and if you use ketchup, you should just fucking go kill yourself. I'm like, Jesus fucking Christ, dude, it's just ketchup, dude. What? I don't think I have any food condiment that I would feel like, if you use this food condiment, go kill yourself. I don't think I have that bone in my body to say that, Madonna and Missy Elliott into the Hollywood Grove Gap commercial and ad campaign. Yeah, I remember that, but I always thought fucking nerds shopped at the Gap. My dad tried to convince me that, I remember when I was a kid, that Old Navy clothes were cool. I'm like, Old Navy does not make cool clothes. Old Navy makes clothes for conservatives, and if you're not a fucking narc, then you don't shop at Old Navy. I remember I tried to, and I looked around like, I don't like anything I see here. Like, I don't know, who am I trying to, what am I wearing if I wear this? I'm like, American flag shirts for the 4th of July, or I'm like, do I have a rich daddy? And even then, if I had a rich daddy, I wouldn't be fucking shopping at Old Navy. I think it's just like people who want to pretend they're from rich families and are not from rich families. I'm pretty sure that's what Old Navy is for. No, that's Old Navy, yeah. Anyways, that was the Gap. Jessica Simpson's Dessert Beauty, which you really wanted to see if it actually tasted good. Yeah, I guess if you go with the flavor of this is like sweets, like cupcakes and shit like that, because she's eating a cupcake rather sexually and stuff like that. Dude, when I don't know what, like, young kid, 5th grade me fucking loved Jessica Simpson. I thought she was the most beautiful woman in the world. Now, like, even like looking back at her, I'm like, she's pretty and stuff like that, but I don't know, I want different qualities in women. I guess I used to like just like fucking the ditziest women possible, and there is something to just like a fucking dumb bitch, that you just love. Like a man just loves a dumb bitch. I don't know how to describe it. It's just like, she's dumb. I think it's like that male evolutionary thing where it's like, oh, I'm her protector and provider type shit. I think that's why men just fucking love dumb bitches, because we're just like, oh, I can actually take care of you and shit like that. I don't know. There's something to like men that just like there's just biology that you can't get out of a man. As much as I like want to get away from just like societal norms, it's just like there's just some shit, like women like a tough guy, It's like they don't want to fucking, like, if she wants to date a man, she's gonna date a man, and he's gonna bottle up his emotions and shit like that. What else do we got here? Oh, the belt section on Hot Topic, which was full of studded belts, but you could also pick up a white or clear belt. I'm remembering the kid I was, who was punk rock Christian, and I had like I had a Bible in a Bible case, and it was a studded Bible case with like the stud made a cross and shit like that, and like It wasn't high quality shit or anything like that, but it's just like, I was a fucking badass Christian. That fucking Bible case, the studded fucking cross Bible case, dude. Leather and everything, dude. I was just, it is the greatest marketing campaign that has ever been made, was convincing kids that it was punk rock to be a Christian. Like, and they had solid arguments. That was the big thing. They had solid arguments for it, why it was punk rock to be a Christian. And it was probably the greatest marketing campaign of all time, for real. The overpriced CD section at Borders that you were always tempted to buy a CD from. Dude, yeah, it was like Borders. There's a store called FYE. I don't know if I think I called them Fi back in the day. It was just like CDs, movies. I miss stores like that. I mean, they still exist, but like, it's just not the same, dude. It's like, like, why would I buy a CD when I can just like pull it up on my phone and listen to the whole thing right now? So like that, it's like technology advances, and it's like you miss the old stuff, but it's like you don't want to go back to it all at the same time. And yeah, there were like $17 CDs. Like, for real, I don't know. For the most part, I think the most a CD should cost is maybe like $10, even though I think probably the work of art that's on the CDs should be priceless, because it's just true human emotion. It should be true human emotion, but at the same time, yeah. But yeah, they always had like the more expensive CDs, and it was like, why am I buying the CD here when I can also just buy it at Walmart? Like in Walmart, they have like the cheaper CD. They still sell CD. They sell vinyl records now at Walmart, and I have to avoid that section like the plague, dude, or like the C word, as they say. Club Libby Lou stores all at the mall, which looked like it was the love child of a Bratz doll and the Limited 2. I wish I could relate, but if I even looked at that store, my mom would call me gay. And so, who was like,
I'm not gay no more. I am delivered.
So I think we all know the little story. We all have a Christian mom out there, right? Number 16, the massage chairs inside Sharper Image that always had one old man hogging one up for way too long. I have no shame in saying I have been the guy who's been hogging those things for way too long.
Man proposes and God disposes.
But I think but my time was after Sharper Image wasn't. They like still had products, but I don't think they had stores. They were just in like Bed Bath and Beyond, and you go to a Bed Bath and Beyond and just sit in those chairs, and you're like, I think I'm gonna live the rest of my life like this. You get in those chairs, you're like, this is how I'm gonna spend the rest of my existence, and shit like that. And I don't blame you for thinking that way. So, watching marathons of Trading Spaces on TLC on the weekend, and mainly watching them for the reactions of the people who got an ugly, redecorated room. Yeah, we all know the evil that is TLC, the Learning Channel. And I gotta say, they know how to keep you watching. They know how to keep you occupied. Like we hate like Meta/Facebook, and we all know they're evil. Just like TLC, but you gotta admit, they know how to keep you there, and they know how to give you content that you want to see. Like you scroll down on shit, you're like, oh, cool, boobs, 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 boobs. I'm like, thank you, Mark. Thank you, Mark.
Come on, Mark, don't be stingy.
Thank you for showing me all these titty pics, that girls are trying to get me to get on their OnlyFans, where I'll see the same exact pictures. So, it's just, yeah.
Cool stuff, slick stuff, neat stuff.
Watching MTV's Pimp My Ride to see what horrible makeovers they do to the cars. Yeah, at the end of the day, like, I'm starting to think, like, why did I watch Pimp My Ride as a kid? Because I guess there's, like, some part of you that, like, wants to be on the show, but at the same time, you're just like, what the fuck how are they going to ruin this car? They're always ruined cars. Like, they didn't do anything to them. They just, like, put, like, 5 TVs. They're like, we're going to put TVs in the trunk. I'm like, I can't watch the TV in the trunk if I'm in the car, okay? You can't do that, okay? Like, it's just like, we'll put TVs in. We know you like fish. We know you like aquatic life. So we put fucking aquariums in your car. Like, those fish are going to die tonight, dude. Like, I don't know how you keep fish alive for the most part, but like, don't you have to like, doesn't like the fish tank have to be like a certain kind of environment so the fish just don't die immediately, dude? For real. Whatever, pimp my ride, dude. They're just like, we put a new paint job on it. We put 500 TVs in the back. I know how you said the transmission isn't very good. We didn't do anything to that. It still sucks. It still sucks balls. But look how cool this looks, dude. Okay. Yeah. MapQuest maps that you just printed out, in 99% of the time, you forgot to print out only black and white instead of color. Oh, yeah, because you didn't want to waste all your color ink. Dude, I'm okay that MapQuest, that we don't have to use MapQuest anymore. People were like, I just miss those days. I'm like, I don't miss using that fucking shit. Luckily, my mom's a teacher. She has, like, staples and scissors and shit like that just around. But, like, for real, I don't miss MapQuest at all, dude. I'm fine with that being gone. Celebs wearing American flag, I Heart New York, and FD New York NY, I think that's the fire department in New York, clothing on red carpets and events after 9/11. Yeah, it was just a time period thing. Like, it was the right time to wear that. You look back now, and you're like, that's kind of weird. Stuff like that. The red Netflix envelopes, which always a little thrill when you saw it in the mail. Yeah, my parents used to have the Netflix DVDs, and they did not know how it worked. I'm pretty sure. I was just like, can you get some DVDs so we could watch something? And they were like, no. And I think the reason why they said no is because they didn't know how to use it. You know, shit like that. Just dumbass fucking shit like that. The absolute magical chaos that was the midnight release of a new Harry Potter book. Dude, some of y'all don't even understand. I remember the 5th book when it came out, and you were just like, and I was just trying to get that book for so long, and like, I don't know. I guess it was something to like, I had to wait until my birthday to get it or something like that. I was like, I need that book now! And shit like that. And then it turned out I didn't even like the book that much. Like, the best Harry Potter movie, but like the worst Harry Potter book, you know? Because you just read it, and even the author, you know, who we cannot talk about, you know? I know the joke, but just remember.
I identify as a fucking threat.
And just like, yeah, dude, because it was like, you know, the book came out and you're just like, I need to read it, you know, I'm missing out, I'm missing something, you know, and yeah, dude, what a time to be alive, what a time to be alive. Thank you, Fall Out Boy. Philadelphia cheesecake snack bars, which were the perfect after-school treat or dessert. I've never had one of those, but I'm taking a look. If you just say cheesecake, I'll eat cheesecake just fucking plain. I think that's New York cheesecake. Like, dude, cheesecake tastes fine by itself, dude. You do not need, like, to add, like, strawberries or whatever to it. You can, and guess what? If you make it that way for me, I will eat the fucking shit out of that. But yeah, dude, I wish that was still... is that really not around? I feel like that would just fucking kill. Dude, I don't know. The world's a weird place. Restaurants and food brands changing their products in order to be Adkins friendly. I wish they would do this. Some restaurants do. I think, what is it? Papa Murphy's does it. They have like a keto pizza bowl, and it's just fucking, they just take everything but the crust and just throw it in a bowl and melt it, dude. I don't hate it, but yeah, I would prefer, does Subway actually still have these like wraps? Because I actually would start eating out there a lot more if they actually still have this. That's actually something I'm going to look up after the show. Let me do it. The stack of blank CDs that sit next to your computer, which could inspire you to make a mix CD by just looking at it. I still have a computer with the CD drive in it, and I love making chicks, you know, like mix CDs and shit like that. Like, they don't have CD players in cars anymore, and so it's kind of like ruining romance. The fact that CDs they don't make things with CD players anymore is, you know, it's really ruining romance for me. You know, that's the real problem with the advent of digital music in our world, is that they're ruining chances for me to get laid. Okay, at the end of the day, that's all that really matters, is, am I getting laid? Oh yeah, the gaudy outfits David and Victoria Beckham wore on the red carpets in the early 2000s. Yeah, dude, you forget, like, David Beckham. I don't know about Victoria. I don't keep up with women's fashion, but like for men's fashion, David Beckham is oddly one of like the forefronts. Like if he wears something and the way he like presents himself is like every guy needs like copies that shit. And it's not like, and you can't really blame him. Like, it looks good. That shit looks really good. And stuff like that. I don't really care about his wife or whatever. The Disney DVDs that came with Fast Play, which you would press immediately, but it never seemed to actually work. Oh my god, I am so happy that someone else confirmed this with me. I was wondering why that shit never worked. You like press it, just that shit never worked. And it's like, why give us this option if you're just gonna like make it not work and just play the previews anyways or whatever you do? Dude, remember previews in movies? Like DVDs and VHSs had them, and like if you want to feel nostalgic and throw in a VHS, you're just like, oh, cool commercials, cool shit, awesome. Interactive DVD menus, though, sometimes came with hidden features that you needed to know how to access. Oh, buddy. And they're showing the Shrek 2 DVD music. Like, you bet your ass I know that's Shrek 2. And, yeah, they had the Far, Far Away Idol on it. Yeah, that was, like, the first one. So it was, like, definitely, dude. The Far, Far Away Idol. Definitely go look that up on YouTube if you haven't seen it yet. The Girls Gone Wild commercial, they played late at night, and you're always worried someone would walk in while it was playing. Dude, yeah, they just like fucking played that. You're just a kid wanting to watch South Park, listen to some toilet humor. All of a sudden, just like chicks like showing their tits, but like it's also very censored because you're also on cable TV, and you're just like, did anyone actually try and jerk off to those commercials? Because like I don't think they really gave you anything that was worth it. I also wouldn't mind meeting some Girls Gone Wild chicks. Like, where are you now? Where are these chicks now, dude? I'd love to hear from all of you. The animal crackers in my soup part from the Shirley Temple Little Darlings DVD commercial that played all the time on Cartoon Network. Dude, yeah, dude. I don't know how anyone was like, fucking Shirley Temple's my chick, dude. I fucking love those videos, dude. I've never met anyone like that. You just remember the commercials. You're like, people like this shit, dude. It's just one of those things you're just like, people really like this, you know? It's like Imagine Dragon fans, you know? Imagine dragging these nuts across your face.
Got him!
Never gets old. Best Buy having like 50% of its floor space dedicated to just DVDs. Yeah, I think I heard recently they're getting rid of movies on the floor. Like, they got rid of CDs a while ago. And now it's getting to movies. Which is just fucking insane, dude. That like, how like we're really, and you think like, oh, physical media is dead, but it's like it's actually still around. That's the crazy part about it. It's like it is still around. It's just like no one's buying that shit, and the stores are just like, we're only gonna keep up with the actual demand, which is barely. Also Best Buy and the Best Buy Geek Squad Volkswagen Beetles that were always parked outside. I don't think I've ever had to use Geek Squad ever in my life. And I guess they just do tech support, and I don't know the tech support they do. The Live Strong bracelets, which you wore because it was popular and it showed you cared. Dude, I remember those plastic bracelets were like the coolest shit when I was in the 6th grade. I had like 12 of them I kept on my arm. It was just like covered myself in them. Cool. What a time to be alive. And the red string bracelet celebs wore because they were into Kabbalah. Don't remember that one. The bright green on light on the old external computer speakers. Those are like the speakers you want to hear. That's like the right way to listen to emo music is on those speakers. Like, I feel like a lot of times audio is like, how am I supposed to listen to this? Like, what is the preferred method? Like, I do think like AirPods or even like the Apple just like headphones itself is the best way to listen to Blonde by Frank Ocean. I really do think I just had like generic Apple headphones at the time when the album came out, and they're like corded. I think that's right before wireless headphones came out. So it was like the wired ones. I would say probably the wired ones on for like the iPhone, like is the best way to listen to Frank Ocean's Blonde. Like I don't know, like it just popped in those, like, I've had them on studio speakers, but, like, they just fucking pop on those iPhone headphones, dude. And it was before the AirPods, too. I remember that now. I was, like, trying to think. Yeah. Turning on your desktop like this and then feeling the warm heat of the computer tower on your leg. Yeah, it's using your big toe to press the on button on the big old tower computer. Yeah, it's just what you did back then. You just went to, you were just like, I'm going to go on the computer. And then you did that. And lastly, having Internet Explorer crash on you, which was always at the worst time. Dude, I can't believe how much of Internet Explorer I tolerated in my life, you know, considering what browsers are supposed to be like on said systems, dude. It's so fucking, so fucking bad. You're just like, it just crashed and barely worked half the time. 500,000 little tabs they added underneath your little fucking browser. You don't even know how they got there. Just like, how are you just fucking that shitty of a browser that this happens, dude? It's like, no wonder they just like remade the same shit like Microsoft Edge and just like threw it out and be like, yeah, Internet Explorer has such a bad name, we had to create a whole ass new browser. It was bad. Anyways, though, yeah, that's it. Tell me your thoughts on what you remember from your childhood if you're a millennial, and what was cool and not cool. Drizly, the ultimate convenience for all your alcohol needs, delivered right to your doorstep. Tired of making last-minute trips to the liquor store or dealing with crowded aisles and long checkout lines? With Drizly, your favorite drinks are just a few taps away, making your alcohol shopping experience easier and more enjoyable than ever before. Drizly brings the liquor store to you, offering an extensive selection of beer, wine, spirits, and more. Browse their vast catalog of top-quality brands, local favorites, and specialty beverages, all conveniently organized on their user-friendly app or website. With Drizly, there's no need to leave the comfort of your home. Simply choose your favorite drinks, place your order, and let their reliable delivery partners handle the rest. Whether you're hosting a party, relaxing after a long day, or simply stocking up for the weekend, Drizly ensures that your drinks are delivered promptly and securely. But Drizly isn't just about convenience, it's about choice. Discover new flavors, explore unique craft brews, or find the perfect bottle of wine to complement your meal. With Drizly's vast selection, you have the freedom to choose exactly what you want when you want it. Worried about the hassle of age verification? Drizly has you covered. Their delivery partners are trained to ensure responsible alcohol delivery, making sure that only those of legal drinking age receive their orders. Your safety and the safety of your community is their top priority. Join the millions of satisfied customers who have already embraced the convenience and simplicity of Drizly. Say goodbye to the hassle of traditional alcohol shopping and hello to the ease of having your favorite drinks delivered to your doorstep. That's not all. Using our link in the description gives you $5 off your first order, which can greatly enhance your night, if you know what I'm saying. Ready to elevate your drinking experience? Download the Drizly app or visit our website today and experience the future of alcohol shopping. Cheers to a new way of enjoying your favorite drinks with Drizly. And remember, when you use our links, you directly support this show. Honey, your ultimate online shopping companion that saves you time and money effortlessly. Are you tired of endlessly searching for coupon codes or missing out on the best deals when shopping online? Say goodbye to those frustrations and hello to Honey, the free browser extension that revolutionizes your online shopping experience. Honey is your personal shopping assistant that automatically finds and applies the best coupon codes at checkout, helping you save money with just a few clicks. No more wasted time scouring the internet for discounts. Honey does the work for you, ensuring you never miss out on a great deal again. But Honey doesn't stop at coupon codes. It goes the extra mile to ensure you get the best price possible. With Honey's innovative price history feature, you can track the price changes of your favorite products over time. This means you'll always know if you're getting the best deal or if it's better to wait for a price drop. And the best part, Honey works seamlessly with over 30,000 online retailers, including popular brands across fashion, tech, home goods, and more. Whether you're shopping for a new wardrobe, upgrading your electronics, or sprucing up your living space, Honey has your back, ensuring you get the best value for your money. Worried about privacy and security? Rest assured, Honey is committed to protecting your personal information. They never sell or share your data, and their browser extension is designed with top-notch security measures to keep your online shopping experience safe and secure. Join the millions of satisfied users like me who have already saved millions of dollars with Honey. Download the Honey browser extension today and unlock a world of savings every time you shop online. Don't miss out on an incredible deal and the chance to save money effortlessly. Experience the power of Honey and take your online shopping to a whole new level. Honey, the sweetest way to shop online. And remember, when you use our links, you directly support this show.
Oh no! Our table!
It is time for Oh No, Our Table, the part of the podcast where I just answer questions, whatever questions you fucking have. Let's just
Jump into it.
I have chlamydia and my boyfriend doesn't. I didn't cheat. I tested positive 3 times, 2 swabs, 1 urine, and he tested negative 1 time, urine. The doctor he saw refused to do a penile swab and said he would have to go to PP for that. Last time I slept with someone else was November 2020. I tested negative in October 2020 and December 2021. He was on amoxicillin 2 months ago, but the doctor said that wouldn't have cured chlamydia. He was hiding his phone from me, and I've caught him on dating sites before. He goes out of town for work often and doesn't text me back for hours. I'm confused about how I have chlamydia if he cheated and doesn't have it. Sounds like this dude... All right, so assuming you're 100% sure you didn't cheat, which sounds like you're being anonymous on the internet, so obviously we're, what is it?
Because apparently...
It sounds like you're not making this up. You wouldn't be asking the question if you were lying, unless it's a weird thing where you're, like, trying to prove your innocence or whatever. I don't know. I think the correct answer to this problem is it sounds like he cheated. Because, I don't know who you are, but once you wrote this down, you should have read it back to yourself and kind of saw so like you give me the fight. He was hiding his phone from me and I've caught him on dating sites before. Okay. Goes out of town for work and doesn't text you back for hours. I know people who went to Nashville for work and they were all cheating. It's just an easy way to get away with it. And so it sounds like he cheated on you. The amoxicillin, probably, I don't think a doctor that I could see a doctor lying for someone, but the amoxicillin he said doesn't cure chlamydia, but maybe he was on. Yeah, it sounds like what the situation was, and it's kind of. I'm sorry you have to live through this, but it sounds like he cheated, caught chlamydia. Okay, I think the mic's working. Caught chlamydia, and then he gave you chlamydia. Then he found out he had chlamydia, secretly cleared up his chlamydia, and then that's what's going on with you. So, yeah, because, like, at the end of the day, it is something like, I think Kelly Rowland, I think it's Kelly Rowland. There's, like, a story where, I guess, like, her dad was always like, I don't know. I mean, I love her and everything, but I just don't feel that connection that we're related. So I guess he did a DNA test, found out that he is not Kelly Rowland's biological father. But then, the situation's like, oh, did her mom cheat? And her mom was like, well, I 100% know I did not cheat. And so let me do a DNA test too to prove that I did not cheat. And if that turns out that Kelly Rowland was like a baby that was mixed up in the hospital, like just stories you think about, like, which is just like a fucking crazy story. But yeah, it sounds like this dude does not sound like a good guy to you. Like, just the fact that you're dating and he's like cheating on you, he's like, you caught him on dating sites. So, catching someone on a dating site is probably a sign, at least if they even if they never cheat on you, but they're on a dating site, it means that they have the potential to. I'm starting to kind of like realize in my older age that when it is important kind of to know in a partner, like, have you ever cheated on someone? I think it's definitely an important thing to bring up because, sometimes there's a situation involved with it and you're just like, I'm a new person. I'm never going to do that anymore. But sometimes knowing that knowledge is kind of like they've had the ability and, you know, they've been able to, you know, your brain typically should say like, hey, I shouldn't cheat on my partner. It's a bad thing. And there is something like, you know, right from wrong in your brain. And it's like when you go against what you know is right and do something that you know is wrong. Anytime there is something about someone's brain chemistry, the reason why they do that in situations like that, that is a big red flag. So I've come to notice, just the older I get, it's like, have you ever cheated on a past relationship? Like, I think the only thing I had was like, and I don't even know if this counts. I was in like going into the 7th grade. I was dating, in quotations, a chick. And then I went to church camp and met another girl there, and I wanted to date her. So I broke up with the other girl and got with her. But I think there was some overlap there where it was bad. I thought at the time, because I was right before I moved to Missouri, I thought that was like God's punishment to me for doing that, for cheating. Now I realize I'm like, oh, I was just a fucking kid and I didn't know any better. But like since then, I've never cheated on someone. It's not like, I don't know. It just sounds like a lot of work to do because you have to hide it and shit like that. And that just sounds like, and I just enjoy living life where it's just like everything is out in the open, you know? It's like if there's any problems with me, it's like it's there. It's like it's not going to be hard to find, you know? I'm not trying to hide anything from anyone for the most part. So yeah, get a better boyfriend. How much sex is too much sex? Okay, Rivers Cuomo. Or thanks, Rivers Cuomo. I got a German girlfriend recently, and she is always excited about having sex because she never got satisfied from her last relationship. So I feel like I had to compensate her for that, and I don't mind, but is there a limit to how much sex I should have with her on a weekly basis to keep the relationship strong? Okay. So I think, every relationship always has like somewhat of a vibe of how much sex you should have. And if it's like too much or too little, like you have to find the right amount for you. And, I there's some guys out there who are very like, hey, my wife doesn't want to fuck. Because like, I think in my perfect situation, like it would be like every evening or like maybe even every other day, but like obviously, and you think about like jerking off, like I could jerk off like 2-3 times every day. I could schedule it in and stuff like that. But like when it's actual sex though, like it's kind of like, it's a lot more planning and, unless you want to go in fucking dry, you gotta figure that out. So I feel like, I do feel like your body does tell it, at least as for a guy, if you're young, you're going to be able to get it up all the time, but eventually you get older and you're like, there's only so many times I can get it up during a day. I don't know, maybe it's just my antidepressants kicking in and being like, hey, don't do that, Hey, we've had enough sex today, okay? So we got to relax here. But yeah, I feel like, I don't know, you didn't really having her on a weekly basis. If it's once a week, dude, well, you can have sex once a week. That's why I always get like annoyed with couples who are like, we just haven't had sex in like a year. I'm like, okay, you sit down with her, be like, okay, I know we're not really that interested in having sex with each other, but we still like each other, and I don't really want to like break up, because like, you still, that's not an option for you. So you're just like, you just plan one day a week, be like, hey, this day of the week, we fuck each other. And if you have kids, I know obviously that can make it more complicated because you don't really want your kids watching you have sex all the time, because if you're fucking normal, you don't want your kids watching you do that. So, so I think you like plan it and if you have kids, be like, okay, we know we're home and our kids are not home at this time. So every week at this time, we fuck, even if we're not interested, even if we're not in the mood, even if it's just not a good experience. Like, I think that's it. But too much sex, maybe just make it a schedule of when you have sex. Maybe that would probably be the best option moving forward for you, because I think that would just probably make things a little bit easier on your fucking loins, dude. I don't understand you, but I guess it exists. All right. I want to break off my perfectly good relationship with my boyfriend. My boyfriend and I have been in healthy relationship for the past 9 months. I have been in a lot of toxic relationships before, which is why I am able to tell my current boyfriend has treated me with respect and love. He has good relationships with all of his exes. They are still in touch. He is there for them when they need him. He also has girl best friends who are very close to him, close to the point where they sleep in the same bed. I know they are not having sex. One of the girls often tells him, I love you. He says she is his best friend, and they go out on lunches and outings from time to time. I know for sure he is not cheating on me, but I'm always scared about our future. His relationships with his exes and his girl best friends are making me insecure. I can stop talking about it. Makes me sick. I can't ask him to stop talking to them because I know it makes me toxic. Now I just act like I'm okay with everything. I once talked to him about my concerns, and he said I have to trust him to make this work. Is this the best way to handle this? Honestly, I feel like in situations, I don't know. This is a therapy thing. That's not it. I feel like it's a kind of a therapy thing for me. But crap. Where was my train of thought going before I was gonna talk to this? So I'm kind of like just looking at this situation here. I'm looking at your perspective on everything. I looked at your title and was like, okay, this sounds like a chick who needs to get her life together. You're like, he's been treating me nice. I don't like him anymore. I'm like, okay, shut the fuck up, bitch. There's just a lot of red flags here. So I have friends who are women, and they're either married to someone, and by proxy, they're kind of my friend just because they're married to my actual friend, And then I have some friends who are women, and I think the situation I have is it's kind of like you kind of have to find them gross, like at least sexually, like do I want to fuck like I think about like even some of my friends' wives. I'm just like I like them and all, and it's like, and it's weird when people are like, dude, why are you dating that chick? She's so ugly. I'm like, why do you fucking care? You're not gonna fuck her. Like, are you trying to fuck her? Like that. There's a problem there. But like, I don't think you need to be attracted to your friends, like partners, spouses, whatever you want to call it. I just think you just have to like, when you judge a friend's partner, it has to be on their vibe and like, are they fun to hang out with or are they just a total fucking bitch? And like, I've met some total fucking bitches, and most of my good friends, though, and if they end up listening to this and they're like, does my wife count? And it's probably going to be a yes. But yeah, so, yeah, I guess I'm just so confused going into this question. The sleeping in the same bed thing has to stop. Like, I don't care how much you trust someone. Just imagine, like, I'm just trying to imagine, like, would my mom... Like, my dad was a track coach, and in positions like that, you can sometimes have assistant coaches or something like that. Sometimes can be women. It's not, I know some people are going to be shocked by that, but it's not that big of a deal. And it's like an assistant coach. And my dad was always great about it being like this is a work relationship. This is not like, they're friends and stuff like that, but like, he was always good about it. One time he told a story. It's gonna be on like an old Schwegcast episode, but like he was like, "Yeah, one time I was on a track thing or whatever, like trip, and like the only restaurant open was Hooters, and so they had to eat there." My dad felt so bad. He called my mom, and like he was like so apologetic and shit like that. Like at that point, I'm just like, I don't, like their marriage was ended up being fine, because like honesty is a good thing, but yeah. With this, I'm just like, one, he's got to stop. There's a lot of boundaries you have to have, and like my friends who are women, like I set up boundaries, and it's usually the same boundaries I would set up for like my guy friends. I'm like, would me and my guy friends like cuddle in bed at night to fall asleep? No, we're not gonna do that. One, because I don't want to be next to some sweaty ass dude. But two, that's I don't know. That's just weird, And And you got to treat if you're a guy and you have friends who are women, you got to treat them just like you treat your guy friends to a very certain extent, with a few exceptions. So yeah, I'm just looking out here, like, the I love yous need to stop. Out to lunches, that's fine. I don't know, like, but like, yeah, if you have feelings for someone, I don't know, and also exes too. It's just like, you don't need to talk. You can be like Facebook friends or whatever, but like, if you're not over if you really know you're not over your ex, you don't need to be looking at what they're doing on social media. It's just, or like, need to be involved in their lives whatsoever. Because like, if someone broke your heart, you shouldn't be around them. You should, the best healing is just not being around them, for real. Yeah, so all your concerns are perfectly valid. I want to tell you that. And just say, I think the best thing I would say in this situation, like, look, I trust you and everything. Like, I fully believe that you would never cheat on me, and I respect that. But it makes me uncomfortable. And I know third parties as well would also be uncomfortable hearing situations you get into with both your exes and friends who are women. And so we need to set some boundaries, because it doesn't make me feel comfortable, And if that's really going to be a problem, like, he's wanting to fuck one of the girls, dude. Like, and so that's the real situation here, because like, I generally feel like all your feelings are valid. It's really up to, like, what's he gonna say in response to this? Because like, I don't think you're asking unreasonable things. You're like, hey, your friends who are women, I don't like them like talking about how they love you and shit like that. Like, that's weird. I don't like that you sleep in the same bed as them, even though I know you're not having sex. I don't like that, And it's like, oh, we don't have sex. And I'm like, cuddling is kind of foreplay, as the foreplay king. I mean, it's not. I mean, it's there. It can count. Other than that, yeah, I just really feel like lunches. I feel like you could probably, to an extent, be fine and stuff like that. And it's also like, friends that I have that are women, I would, if I was dating someone, like, I would try to get them to get along too, Very weird. Okay, I've been rambling on. We need to move on. What might make a girl intimidating to a guy? Being really pretty, being really tall, being really smart. Other physical features, characteristics. I feel like it's more characteristics, but sometimes you could be really good looking and the guy's just like, I don't know how to talk to you. And stuff like that. So that's definitely a thing. I've been watching Ugly Betty, and Rebecca Romaine is in the show with very outdated trans jokes, by the way. But she's like so fucking tall, dude, and like she like towers over like all the men. I'm not saying that's necessarily a bad thing, but maybe being a little taller can be, but I don't know if that's it. I think it's a lot more saying that I want to say this right, so no one get mad at me. But there is a way that men do things, that the way men intimidate someone. I think it's just intimidation tactics that mostly men are the ones using the most. But like when a woman uses those tactics on it, like you feel intimidated by them. I don't know if gender necessarily has anything to do with it. There's just common characteristics that can be intimidating. I've been told that if I play music and I'm not singing necessarily, I have something of like a resting bitch face when I play music. And that resting bitch face can very much intimidate a lot of people. And I've figured it out in college that happens. And so I try, if I go into an ensemble, I don't try to come in as being like, I'm your savior. I'm here to save the day. Your band sucks ass. And now that I'm here, you guys are not going to suck ass. I try to keep that in. I do try to be very humble. And the nice thing about being in the music is you can be humbled very easily. And so that's never been a problem for me. I always try to stay humble. What makes a woman intimidating? I don't think it's anything to do with gender. I do think, though, and especially into like workplace type of situations, when a woman gets into a position that like has been traditionally men, like managers, bosses, and stuff like that, when they treat you like that, like especially as a man, there is something biological in you that's like, fuck you, and like you want to rebel and stuff like that. And it's like if a man, and it's like if a woman does it, it's like if a man does the same thing, you'd still have the same feelings towards it, except for there's a possibility that you could kill the woman and not the man. So it's stuff like that. So I feel like what makes a woman intimidating isn't necessarily any fit. I mean, I don't think it's necessarily anything physical, but unless it's like I would like to go on a date with her, but she's very intimidating, stuff like that. Because I don't know, you just like you feel like she's out of your league and stuff like that. So life's a dirty game. You got to play dirty to win it. What can a girl do to be more attractive physically? So long, unnecessary short story. I went clubbing with my friend last night, and basically everyone flirted with her. I wasn't looking for anything, but it is a bit of a confidence destroyer when you get ignored the whole night. Guys were talking to me, but it felt more petty chatter while they hit on her. LOL. So what's something small I could do to be a little more pretty? For example, I've been told having your nails painted makes you look like you're put together. I have glasses and recently have been feeling like they make me look lame, especially with media, always including removing them for a hot girl makeover. LOL, IDK, just little things. All right, so I'm going to say some words coming up here. And we're all going to be cool with it, okay? I'm going to say things that are going to sound mean, and we're all going to be cool with it, okay? You've been warned, so if you're like, I can't believe you said that. I warned you. I warned the fucking shit out of you. Are you fat? That's the question I'm going to ask you. Are you fat? Okay? Because, like, I really do think, for the most part, like, if women, some guys are into fat chicks, but, like, if for a woman, it's like, do you want to be more attractive? I'm like, just lose weight. I don't know. There is something about a guy you're like, you don't want to date a fat chick. And as someone who's also kind of fat myself, I've also been kind of getting into the thicker girls though lately. I've been seeing a couple around. I'm like, I like that, I don't like I said, I don't really I have types, but I don't have like a deal breaker type, so. I generally think, though, because, like, I think men care more about weight and then women care more about height, and I can't. I'm not that tall either, so I'm like, I'm just trying to give you guys what I do. So, if you're fat, I'm just saying, ladies, if you're fat and you're having troubles getting men, you may need to lose some weight. I'm not encouraging any bad diets or anything. I'm just saying, from another fat person, I would just say, it'll definitely make you look more attractive, and you just look healthier. And I think when you do look healthier, I think just everyone finds you more attractive in that sense. Whatever, nails painted, I don't think men do not give a shit about that at all, dude. Men do not care what your nails look like. Men don't care what your eyebrows look like. As long as you have eyebrows, that's all men care about. I hate it when women like shave off their eyebrows and like draw them back on. You're like, now I'm attractive to men. I'm like, no, you're not. You look fucking weird now, and I don't want to be near you, you fucking, was it Uncle Fester freak, You look like fucking, if you shave your eyebrows, you look like Uncle Fester from, not Goosebumps, the Addams Family, the Goosebumps, for real. Ladies, do not shave your eyebrows, please, love God. And Doja Cat, please grow your eyebrows back, please, for the love of God. I don't care if you have a buzz cut, just please grow your eyebrows back, please. Eyebrows are not hard to maintain. I don't know where you come off with, like, oh, I can't maintaining my eyebrows has just become too much. Like, it's not hard to maintain your eyebrows. And especially if you have pretty thick eyebrows, as long as they don't connect, men don't give a shit. Men are attracted to Cara Delevingne, even though she's dating one of my favorite, like, pop artists right now, Mink. For one, that's a good thing. All right. Do women find it attractive that a guy is going to therapy? A few of my female friends told me that it's sexy that I'm going to therapy and that I should put it on my dating profile. LMAO, but I can't tell if they are being sarcastic or serious. Does me going to therapy not signal to people that I have issues? What's attractive about it? Yeah. Dude, I totally kind of understand your... Yeah, I don't know why women are saying, like, oh, I want a guy who goes to therapy. That's so odd. I go to therapy, and if I don't bring that up, that's not like, hello, ladies, I go to therapy. And it's not, they're not like fucking flocking around wanting to hear my fucking life problems and shit like that. This is something I genuinely think that is like something that we need to have a real discussion about, because we've been going on this like whole rant about men's mental health and like men should be able to cry, men should be able to talk about their feelings, men should be able to go to therapy. But if you legitimately like online, you're like, ha 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 ha, I love a man to go, I want my man to go to therapy. It's not like women find it attractive that a man goes to therapy. Women want the guy they have in mind to go to therapy. And if you're not that guy that they have in mind, not necessarily a thing. And, you know, as, you know, and I'm not trying to be like an incel or anything like that. Like, I'll tell you all, I go to therapy, and I do it like it's every other week. It's usually on Thursdays. I talk about my mental health. You know, I talk about like how my dad passed away, and, you know, how I'm dealing with life right now when life isn't what I want it to be and stuff like that. You know, I go to therapy. But, like, if I bring, like, because in the past I've brought up, like, personal problems with women I've been dating, and it's never made them more dry. Like, that is the most dry thing that has ever happened when, like, my feelings are brought up. Women aren't necessarily, that's why it's been, like, the people who survive are the guys who bottle up their feelings, don't go to therapy, keep it together, start the Roman Empire and stuff like that. You know, it's those type of guys are the ones who are getting the chicks, because it is an attractive trait to be a man and have it all together, like have your whole life together. There is something very attractive about that. So maybe when a chick is like, oh, I love a man who goes to therapy, they like a guy who has their life together, and it's like they go to therapy, and the therapy in response to it makes the man have their life together, you know. But sometimes you go to therapy because you don't have your life together, and you continue to go to therapy because you're working on getting your life together, but you don't have your life together. And that's just not an attractive trait to women, you know, just like a guy who has a lot of like mental health problems and stuff like that. That's why, you know, that's why everyone's dad bottles up their emotions and keeps it to themselves and has a lot of problems, and the reason why us younger generation are the reason why we're in therapy. So that's the real truth behind it. Like, don't brag to women that you go to therapy. If it comes up, it comes up. Don't be ashamed of it, because I think there is something more important of just like owning up to your flaws and stuff like that. There is way more, it is way more beneficial to just own up to that shit. But at the same time, you shouldn't brag about going to therapy to women, because at the end of the day, they're just gonna be like, this is not a good mate to have. This is not someone I want to be with, you know? So, you know, it is the way it is, and you know what?
Well, damn, Jackie, I can't control the weather.
So, Matt. All right, finally, our last question of the evening. If you had infinite money, what would be the first thing you do with it? Infinite money, so, yeah, if I would probably, infinite money, the first thing I would look up is probably, like, any debt I have, even if it's fake or someone's, like, scamming me or whatever. Like, you have infinite money. I'd just be like, I'll just pay everything off and make it look like I don't have any debt. I'd probably buy property. You know, I think property is always a good investment too. I don't know what I would do with it, but I don't want to be like a shitty landlord at the same time. I would probably build a recording studio of my own, you know, just like state of the art, everything that it's like, you know, I work with a lot of things in my current studio. Like, I have a lot of good equipment, but at the same time, it's always like stuff, like at the end of the day, a lot of the stuff is like what I make work. When I have in my own studio, it's like, I'm going to get everything that I've ever wanted to be in like a studio space. And I'd build it the exact way I want to, stuff like that, and just make it like a creative paradise where it's like, this is somewhere someone can go to write songs. This is somewhere someone can go to record songs. This is somewhere someone can go to hang out, and just like a good vibe of a studio, and just like all the equipment that I've ever dreamed of having, and being able to buy more is like, oh, this is a new thing that came out, buying it, you know, and shit like that. Really cool. And then, you know, if I have unlimited money, it's one of those things that I'm never going to run out of it. I'd be like, I would probably just start recording people. Because, like, you know, because half the shit we do in our lives is just to, like, make money, survive, so we can buy food, have a home, and shit like that. But, like, if I never had to worry about money, I'd be like, I'm going to start recording people for free. You know, I'm going to start doing gigs for free. I would, you know, set up shows and shit like that, make it free, let tons of people come in and stuff like that. Boost my music career or anything else I've ever wanted to do in my life, you know, and at the same time, you know, it's like, oh, like, you know, because a lot of times you book a show and you're like, oh, but don't you want to pay musicians and stuff like that, even if you don't make enough money? I'm like, that's not something I have to worry about. Like, I know people who I think are like the best, and it's just like, I'm just going to give you like a living wage, and all I want you to do is like play shows with me and stuff like that, just like my friends and shit like that. It would be a fucking good time. They say money can't buy happiness. It can, okay? Whoever made up that phrase was rich already and didn't like their lives because they were just probably an asshole already to begin with and not a good person. So, yeah, I would definitely just make my life so much better. I'd probably even help a lot of other people. I'm just like, someone just be like, yeah, you know, I just roll in. Someone just tells me, it's like, yeah, I don't think students should go into debt just for lunch debts and shit like that. You know, I'm like, yeah, that's true. And I just go to the school or whatever and just be like, pay off the lunch debt, you know, shit like that, you know, like, oh, you know how this was a problem? It's not anymore. Or I'd probably support like a local community anonymously and just be like, all right, here's X amount of money. Like, no one has to pay for lunch ever again at the school or this year or whatever. You know, it's like, how much does it actually cost for, like, a yearly amount, you know? I'll just, like, give a little bit more than that, like, round it up to the highest one, you know, and then go from there, you know? Figure it out. Yeah, no, I try to make, because it's, like, I think at the end of the day, it's, like, half the shit I do is to, like, try to get money. It's either get paid or get laid at the same time, and if you have money, you don't have to worry about getting laid. Just hire a prostitute. If you had infinite money, and I would, like, find a porn star I really liked and just be like, hey, we're partners now. Here's, like, X amount of money a year or whatever. You know, this is how much you're going to make a year. All you have to do is be like, if I want to fuck, we're going to fuck, you know? Like, that's all you have to do. And, you know, you got to be nice to them and shit. But also, like, I just make my life easier, make the world a better place. Or at least make your community a better place, you know? That's what I'd really like to do, because it's like unlimited money. It's like, and it's hard to fathom unlimited money, because it's just like, what's your problem? Because you can throw money at every problem and it goes away. Just like, I want to find love. If you have a ton of money, you'll find love. Like, that's not a problem. You know, she'll learn to love you, you know. After, like, she knows you have a lot of money, she'll learn to love you, you know. That's how it is.
Pretty bold of you little fucks to assume that I'm not God.
And with all that being said, thank you for checking out this episode of Cancel Schweezy. Yet again, we've made it to the end of another episode. So thank you so much for listening. Check out my social medias under @TheSchweezy, my music under Schweezy as well. We also have a Cash App and Patreon. Patreon. We do have Patreon too. We also have PayPal as well. Those are great ways to support us financially and say thank you for being a friend along with all our other sponsors. We just use our links. Like, that's just a great way to support the show without, you know, doing something you already wanted to pay for. Make sure you do all the free shit. Like I said, going to our YouTube page, checking out the episode, checking out the highlights, sharing the highlights, liking it, subscribing it, leaving comments. Always just great free shit you can always do. But you also have the option to listen on audio, where you can leave us a review, like a written review. Even if it's nonsense, it's a written review. And give us a 5, 4, 3, 2, or 1-star rating as well. So, as we say, look at the mic stand here. Honk if you love butt drugs. And stay awesome. Believe it or not, Schweg isn't at home. Please leave a message at the beep. I must be out, or I'd pick up the phone. Where could I be? Believe it or not, I'm not home. Thank you for tuning in to Cancel Schweezy, the Lord's trademark favorite podcast, and joining me on this incredible journey. I hope you've enjoyed the valuable insights and engaging discussion I brought to your ears. To ensure you never miss an episode, hit that subscribe button now. By subscribing, you'll receive automatic updates whenever we release new content, keeping you in the loop with the latest episodes and topics. Subscribing not only guarantees that you'll never miss a beat, but also helps support our show. Your subscription plays a crucial role in helping us continue to bring you high quality content and maintain our podcast growth. So whether you're listening on your favorite podcast platform or watching our YouTube channel, take a moment to click that subscribe button. Join our community of passionate listeners and be part of the journey. Personally, I appreciate your support, and together, we can make this podcast even better. So don't wait any longer. Hit that subscribe button now and stay connected with us. Thank you for being part of our podcast family.